So moving along into the fun stuff, into the cryptography stuff. As you may or may not know, the crypto and cryptocurrency actually stands for cryptography. Cryptography relies on difficult and advanced encryption and decryption methods to secure the digital world. Cryptography is basically built on these trapdoor functions. A trapdoor function is a math function or formula that is easy to perform one way, but difficult to reverse engineer. And that is important for a peer-to-peer network such as Bitcoin, where you are relying on a decentralized network built of millions of strangers, and you're also sending important information to public channels. You need secure ways to encrypt and decrypt the information. So think of a trapdoor function literally like the trapdoor on a cage. It's extremely easy for an animal to walk in, but once in, virtually impossible for that animal to get out. Cryptography makes use of these trapdoor functions to secure communications over public channels, allowing only the sender and intended recipient of a message to view its contents. When talking computers, the internet, and data storage, cryptography is vital for digital security. These trapdoor functions are essentially a system of complex puzzles, advanced math, and extremely large numbers. These puzzles protect information by ensuring, again, only the proper recipient can receive or unlock the info. Through different encryption and decryption methods, cryptography allows humans to trust computers and advanced math to ensure two or more strangers can send secret messages over a public network in a way that satisfies all of the following. The sender has confidence that only the proper receiver can decipher the message, i.e., the message is not easily hacked. The sender has confidence that the message won't be altered in transit, i.e., the message won't be hacked. This is key because this means the sender can send a message over a public channel, but only the receiver will be able to decipher it and use the information accordingly. Likewise, cryptography ensures that receivers of the information have confidence that the message was actually sent by the correct sender, i.e., not hacked, and the message wasn't altered or hacked in transit. Again, this is just the flip side. Since the sender sent a message over a public channel, the receiver needs to have insurance that the public didn't intercept the message, hack it, and send a falsified message. Cryptography ensures that all of this can happen. It's also important to note that the sender encrypts the message and the receiver decrypts the message. Think of encrypting as locking and decrypting as unlocking. To tie this all together, we'll use an easy example. Let's say I'm one of LeBron James' coaches and I want to share a secret message with him via a poster board during the game. The message that I write on my sign will be read by the other team, but only LeBron James and our team should be able to decipher it and understand the secret message. For this to work, LeBron and I would have to have a secret decoding system that only him and I know. Maybe the secret system is the common shift over one to the right, where A equals B, B equals C, and so on. Now, LeBron knows the message, but the other team doesn't. So when I send him this message of QJDL, BOE, SPMM, LeBron knows to use our secret code, and he can interpret it as pick and roll. In our example, both LeBron and I would use the same coding system to encrypt and decrypt the message. For this specific example, in which each of us know each other and have strategized this specific coding system in practice, this system would work just fine. LeBron can trust that I'm the sender. I can trust he's the receiver. We can both trust the message, and nobody else can decrypt the message, even though they can see and read the encrypted version. This example of us both using the same rule to encrypt and decrypt the message is known as symmetric cryptography. It works because we both know and use the same rule when encrypting and decrypting the message. And moving forward, it's best to think of our secret rule as keys. Keys that only the sender and receiver know to be able to unlock the message. I, as the coach, would encrypt or lock the message with our secret key. Then I'd send the locked message to LeBron over a public channel where the locked message can get potentially intercepted. LeBron will then decrypt the message using his key, an identical copy to mine since we're using symmetric cryptography. And as long as nobody else can easily get a copy or figure it out, then our messages will be secure over an insecure public network. However, a more advanced system of cryptography is needed for Bitcoin's decentralized network consisting of transactions between millions of strangers. Asymmetric cryptography was introduced to the world in 1976. You encrypt with a private key and you decrypt with a public key. Two different keys, unlike symmetric cryptography. This form of asymmetric cryptography made way for the internet as we know it, allowing machines to send secure messages over insecure communication paths. For Bitcoin, a decentralized currency for transaction between strangers, public and private key cryptography is the lifeblood of the cryptocurrency's trustless security and intrinsic value. Before we move further, it's important to note that with asymmetric cryptography, like Bitcoin, the two keys involved are called a user's private key and public key. The private key is exactly that. It's private. It's never shared. Never, ever shared. It's like your Bitcoin social security number. It's the only identity that the blockchain recognizes. So if someone else knows your private key, they can access your funds. The public key, on the other hand, is exactly that, public. When you send or sell Bitcoin, the sender's public key is attached to the transaction and released to the public scary domain. We'll get into more of that later, but for now, just understand that there's a private key, which is secret and indeed private, and a public key, which is indeed public and made available to the public.